Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 76. Let's jump into it. Alright, so the turns are getting to the point to where we're having a fair amount of stuff going on pretty frequently. But I think we're still at the point to where we can do most of this stuff because the turns themselves, or at least this turn, we don't have a whole lot going on. So we'll see how it goes. Leper Love, our Lich, has empowered himself in death. That's great. We got a series of attacks from Astral Corruption, which is unfortunate. We'll take a look at them. We've got Gala 24, which is our resident Gala, who has our has a Dwarven Hammer, Thistle Mace, and a Ring of Warning. She has been producing things like Boots of the Messenger and Vine Shields for us at base. Unfortunately, Soul Torn are one of those horrors that we can best because they have such low HP and relatively mediocre defenses. But 12 is a lot. 12 is a whole lot. And they regenerate, so this is going to be somewhat problematic. Because we do have a couple of forces, which is good, but against so many, they've got 3 attacks per square. Those attacks are armor negating, right? So it's kind of rough. Oop, yep, we're losing people left and right. We do get off a swarm, which unfortunately, so the problem with Swarm is normally in a lot of scenarios, Swarm is going to be pretty good. But these guys have regeneration, 20. And the Swarm only does 1 hit per, or 1 damage per. So even with the poison, it's just unlikely that Swarm's going to do enough damage. We were really relying on our bodyguards here to be able to actually take this down. We get another swarm out, and you see, right, these Soul Torns are getting tuned up, but they keep regenning, and Gala dies. So that's a Thistle Mace, a Ring of Warning, and a Dwarven Hammer gone. Which is unfortunate, but keep in mind, right, that Gala, we've been producing with that Gala for 10 plus turns, right? It was since Astral Corruption came up, and I mean, it's been up for longer, but since we decided we were just going to produce through it, right? So that Gala has done a lot for us in that time. So it's sad that we lost her, but you know, still got a lot of value out of it. Nazar the Second, yet again, every time we cast, he's getting attacked, and that's unfortunate. Lose him, that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. And we get a Gore-Tide this time around. 60 HP Slocker, because he's got 50% regeneration, good resistances, 15 fear. He's got Slimer. This guy is going to be rough to deal with. But fortunately, our god is very, very strong. So if anyone can deal with it, it would, in theory, be our god. So the animals are just going to die. That's no big deal. But the bodyguards... the bodyguards are probably going to prove ineffectual towards the Gore-Tide. Slimer is going to slow them down greatly, decrease their ability to do anything. They're slowed and slimed and in darkness, right? So they're never going to hit this guy, or very unlikely to hit this guy. But our god has cast enough that he feels comfortable. He's got Body Ethereal up, which isn't going to matter against the Gore-Tide. Strength of Gaia up, which is pretty fantastic because that puts our regeneration at 20%. And then he's got Astral Shield. So hopefully, because the Gore-Tide only has 18 magic resistance, hopefully, good at the very least. Okay, so we come in and we hit hard enough that we can actually do damage to the Gore-Tide, right? So that's good. We just have to do it consistently. Ah, and there we go. So he gets stunned by a hit from the Scutata Volturnus, which is nice. And then while being stunned, he's not stunned anymore. Regardless, that gives us the hits to be able to... Oof, nope, he regens past. So this is the problem, right? Is we have to consistently damage him, or else he's just going to regen through it. Boom. All right, so we get a turn where we do 3, 28, and 25 all in one fell swoop. So that is enough to seal the deal, and that's good because we don't want to lose our Anunnaki. We did lose all of the people with him, so that's really rough. So that's unfortunate. We did some summoning of Kusaraki or Kusarikus every time I say that. And unfortunately, we've been doing this for a while. Both of our Kusariku summoners get attacked. First one by float cats. Float cats are generally less of an issue. There are 3 float cats though. And we only got 3 people, 3 Inki's chosen in, so that's rough. Get them blessed. Ooh, okay, so we got a good kill immediately, but then immediately traded. So now, ooh, that is not looking good. So the float cats do a number on our bodyguards. We get a big ol' earth elemental out though, and he's working. But now Gudu is exposed, and at 100 fatigue, he's probably dead. Oh yeah, he's super dead. Oh no. That earth elemental... He actually... That earth elemental killed his float cat, but wasn't able to get it in time. Okay. And then we are attacked by a lesser horror on the second Gudu. This one we come in with a much larger force of bodyguards, and it's only a lesser horror. If it was a greater horror, or a regular horror rather, then we probably still would have lost this. We do get a transformation off without being attacked. That's great. We get a couple of site searches going. Don't find anything except for in Carrion. We find a copper idol, which is just 1 air gem, which is well enough. New prophet from Pangea. We got some blood slaves in Tesiphon. That's good. I actually need to check him. Hopefully I'll remember to. And then we have a series of battles against Pan, AI Pan, where we're trying to finish everything off. So let's just take a look at these real quick. We've got Battle in Resting Heights. This is potential big battle because remember we attacked Resting Heights to see if, well, I guess it's not a big battle. But we attacked Resting Heights, and there was the chance maybe Mictlan will bump there with Belphegor, but obviously they didn't, because we have no Mictlan fights. But we are up against a fair amount of PD. So we attack, do a whole bunch of Soul Slay spam, which does a decent job of obliterating chaff like that. Easy peasy. We got a battle in Dopharos. This is just Esham 1 going up against some light PD. And he, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, right. So we've been looking at this, right? Is against light PD and against a prophet, right? So this prophet is back here doing Word of Power, which is annoying. And it's occasionally tagging our Esham. But his regeneration is high enough, especially with Strength of Gaia, that he's not really in any danger of dying. He gets chunked for 24 right there, right? But heals back up, you know. Hits. And heals, and he's at full. And then he gets Tune of Feared and routed with 22 morale. Wow. Unfortunate. So that's rough. That's really rough. I kind of wish... Oop, not mean to go out that far. I kind of wish that there were, like, after you I feel like sometimes morale is a little finicky, right? I wish there were morale checks that continued after you routed, right? Maybe if it's only for like certain breakpoints, right? Like after you route 2 turns later, if you have more than X morale, right, you make another morale check, or something like that. Like when you route, your morale decreases by an amount. Like say when you route the first time, your morale decreases by 5, right? And then in a turn or 2, or however you want to balance it, right, it checks your morale again, right? And if you fail again, right, you perma route, or you just keep dropping by 5, right? I like the concept that you could route and run, right, but then basically like unroute, right? Like be like hold, stop and come back, right? I think that would be a really interesting mechanic, because that's actually more realistic in a lot of different scenarios. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be punishable, because I mean, you're still chasing potentially a routing enemy, but I don't know. Anyways, moving on. We do retreat successfully to Mighty Pillars, so our Isham is safe. We attack in Perenna, and we disrespect, always the disrespect. We don't come in, right? We talked about this. We didn't come in with any buffs, right? No like regeneration, no bark skin, or no mass protection. We basically only came in with Frostfend, and that's only because we have Yetis, right? And we're gonna win this, but it is kind of disrespectful. We're gonna lose a lot of Yetis here, and we have no real reason to lose a lot of Yetis here. So Frostfin goes off, and we're soul slaying the shit out of them. We're definitely gonna win, right? Our Pegasus Riders just kill the shit out of the back line really easy peasy. But we do lose most of our Yetis and a couple of our other infantry, which probably didn't need to happen. This is that kind of like example of why I've been using overwhelming force in taking the Pan lands, like taking Pan and taking Kailasa and things like that. Using all of those gems means that I don't lose 12 Yetis or 10 Spear Guard every fight, right? Because with Fog Warriors up, with Mass Protection up, with Regeneration up, etc., then I don't lose all of these pieces on the board, and that's important. And I kind of just, have ignored that here in Perenna, and I've taken losses for it. Now, we actually did get attacked in Pangaea, and this was kind of silly of me. I didn't move and patrol with the force that I had, even though I knew that there were enemies in the area. So we do get eaten by a little raiding force in Pan, even though there's an army of like 150 here. So that's annoying. We'll take care of that this turn though. We attack in Whispering Wastes with an Ishib, with a new Ishib. Ready and rare and to go, but he actually has low morale. This is one of the reasons why I need, honestly, why I need like, what is it, flame helmets or dragon helmets or whatever, because they give +5 morale. I actually have a Ring of the Warrior on this guy. And he runs into, again, the Slayer of Ishibs, more Minotaurs. And he's doing okay. He gets chipped here or there. Uh-oh. He's got a wound now. Now he's got battle fright. Oh no. He's now he's morale broke. He's routed. And he runs off the field. But he does survive. So We've been very lucky with our Ishibs. Now we've had a kind of like rash of carelessness slash bad luck. So unfortunate. But this one does survive. We've got a battle in the Fortress of Kailasa. Not really much going on here. So we do our normal thing, communion up. We've got thunder strikes coming down, ripping through our forces, our enemies. And pretty easy peasy. We lose, see, we lose nothing in Kailasa. There's a very small amount in Kailasa, but still, if we weren't using all of the buffs and everything that we have, we would probably have lost some spear guards, maybe some yetis, etc. Okay, we've got a bunch of unexpected events. Lost some population in Mighty Pillars. We have gained unrest and misfortune in Fever Fens. We have lost our dominion in Fever Fens. Unfortunate. We gained nature gems in Mighty Pillars. We had a scout attacked in Troban. We discovered a scout in Kronberg. We're under siege in Pangaea. We have breached the forces of the Fortress of Monarch Woods, so we'll have to take care of that. Did some patrolling. And forces in Pan are starving specifically because, and actually I need to take care of this. They're starving because we've been capped. So now they're not starving. Also I wanted to double check over here. Yeah, he's still blood hunting. I empower him in blood? Yes. So we're actually going to empower him in blood this turn so that he is effectively blood hunting as a level 3 blood hunter from here on out. Which is going to be good. We're going to have E-Chief patrolling with Pegasus Riders. So, should be fine. Our unrest is increasing rather quickly. I think, yeah, Pegasus Riders have very good patrol strength because they're flyers, so we should be able to patrol out relatively easily. Alright, what are we doing this turn? This turn is actually very low on movement. We are moving from Kailasa into Flower Meadow Fortress. Looks like Hinnom has stopped moving into locations, so we're going to go ahead and take Flower Meadow Fortress. We are putting up a city palisades in Silver Fangs. We did that immediately. The hope is it takes us a long time to put up a city palisades, but the hope is that no one's going to fuck with us for the next couple turns. Fingers crossed. I do not know if that is going to be the case. We have elders all over the place trying to increase our defense. We are boosting. We're using kind of like whenever we get under 100 gold, we're kind of using miscellaneous gold to try to boost us up to defense 6 so that our elders have a better place to kind of start at, right? We are building a temple in Kailasa. We already built a temple in Carrion. We are breaking siege in Pangaea. It's just against basic stuff, so this shouldn't be any big deal. We're not holding attack closest enemies, so shouldn't be any problem. And then we're gonna try to finish off the Han lands, right? We are moving from Pirena over towards Monarch Woods. I want Jabal Kish, but I do not want to make a move on Jabal Kish just yet. One, because I actually think I need a few more people. We're losing so many people in to this stupid astral corruption strategy that we're doing that we could have another army and a half ready to go in but we're getting mages killed, we're getting infantry killed. It's kind of pissing me off. I wish I had a better strategy for dealing with astral corruption, but I don't. So it is just kind of what it is. We are moving this force towards Monarch Woods. I don't think that there is much there. So I think this force is going to be more than enough to handle it. I just don't think that this force is going to be enough to handle it. So we're going to send NC7 with his Crystal Sorceresses over to Monarch Woods. This also means that we will have a decent force in the area if things start to come to a head sooner than I expect. I expect we're actually going to have a little bit of a lull here for a few turns. Because now we've kind of got this scenario where it's all like, okay, we're five players. I'm not really counting for Moria at this point. There's basically like 5 players who are big-ish and at the ready, and it's in-game, and now it's all right, who pulls the trigger first? Like who's getting got and who's getting got by who, right? So yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of a lull. We're going to have to see how that goes. Of course, I could be wrong, and I could be breaking the lull this turn because I'm casting Well of Misery. So, Leper Love is sitting at 7 death. He's outfitted basically as best as I can outfit him right now. He's gonna cast Well of Misery, and hopefully he's not gonna get fucking immediately attacked by goddamn astral horrors. Like, fucking astral corruption, I hate it. It's just destroying everything that I'm trying to do. A single fucking spell is basically screwing over absolutely everything, the entire way that my nation plays. And there's a couple things like that, like, Ill Winter just fucks the game. Death of the Sun just fucks the game. Astral Corruption just fucks the game, right? Burden of Time just fucks the game. There are a couple of these, like, really big screw you in-game things. But realistically, I think the one that I dislike the most is Astral Corruption, because you think about all of those other ones, right? Burden of Time, right? It starts to age everyone, which will screw you over. But you have, oddly enough, you have time. And you can kind of like work within an allotted time. Death of the Sun, right? The lands grow dark, you start to lose money, right? Big deal. Except that's a static, understood, known, right? So you adjust accordingly and go from there. Things like Ill Winter, same thing, right? It's a static, understood, known, you go from there. But with Astral Corruption, it's just random chance to get your shit killed, like, consistently. But I've bellyached enough about Astral Corruption. We're putting up Well of Misery. In theory, I guess technically, if an immortal gets like Soul Slayed, they die. Like, they don't come back from that. So I think Sans getting some of the wrong horrors, right? We are basically guaranteed to get this off. This is not correct. Why do I have... No, that's not... We're putting... I don't know why... Maybe I messed up and reset this. But we're putting all of our gems into Well of Misery. So, so we should have Well of Misery up regardless. That's going to give us an income of over 40 death gems per turn, which should be really good. If something goes wrong and we lose Leper of Love, then in theory, as long as we maintain the spell, right, the global, we should be able to continue to take like Hollow, or actually it's only Hollow because we lost the other one. We'll have to like summon another one. It's probably like try to buff up, summon another Lich. But in theory, we'll be able to like go through the motions of empowering and summoning liches and things like that. Hopefully we won't have to do that, because that's going to be very annoying. But in theory, we can do that, as long as we maintain the Well of Misery, because it's going to give us so many gems that we'll be able to basically do whatever we want with them. The 10% income is also going to be very, very nice for us. It'll be nice for the whole world, but it'll be very nice for us. And then, if we are successful, right, then next turn, tart. Yeah, actually, specifically, next turn, tart. I think we're going to run up alt next, truth be told. So, Well of Misery into tarts, probably going to run up alteration. We are, we're blood hunting with a single person, so if we start to look like we can actually do something, maybe we'll put another person out here, empower, etc. Go from there. Maybe we'll actually get a little blood economy going in Tesiphon. But if that happens, then we'll pull the trigger on blood in one fell swoop, and we'll just go to like blood 5 or 6 in a single turn. But before that, we're gonna finish off Conjuration 9, get Alteration 9, and that's pretty much it. We are making a Miraculous Cure-All elixir this turn with Nizar II, because it's worthwhile to have an option to get rid of diseases on powerful units that we don't want to lose. We're continuing to summon Kusarikus. I say that every single time. Say it wrong every single time. Forge Lightless Lanterns, Forge Ring of Warnings, etc. And that's mostly it for the turn. Lots of things like palisades, infrastructure in the form of temples, trying to grow our dominion. We've got an uphill battle against the Pan Dominion, basically right now. And I think, I'm not sure. I don't know if Mictlan is like super blood sacrificing or anything. But we'll have to think about that. We'll have to keep that in mind. Actually, I think we might here and reach here. Just to help push a little bit there. We're preaching down in Belagor as well. And that's pretty much it for the turn. Fingers crossed that we haven't had a good turn for Astral Corruption in like 2 or 3 turns. Hopefully this is going to be a good turn. If it is, great. If it isn't, well, fuck. We'll have to figure something out. I don't want to send someone out. Send Gudu 54 out to Aral. I think I want to put a temple down there next turn. Not a temple, a lab down there next turn. Our income is very high right now, so hopefully we do get the few turns that I'm wanting. Oh, we're also doing a combined attack with Isham 1 and Ishib 34 into the Whispering Wastes. Hopefully the 2 of them will be able to deal with the Minotaurs rather than just having one of them. We'll see though. All right, that's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.